Every professional kitchen in America runs on a short, ruthless list of equipment that never gets replaced. Walk into any Michelin-starred restaurant and you will not find Samsung. You will not find Haier. The chefs who depend on this equipment for their livelihood figured something out years ago that the average consumer has never been told. Today, we are publishing their Blacklist. Number 6 is Samsung, the electronics giant that decided your kitchen needs a logic board before it needs a working fridge. Here is the factory secret. Samsung's refrigerators and washers are not built for the long haul. They are built like smartphones, packed with firmware, touchscreens, and proprietary logic boards mounted right above the compressor, in the hottest, sweatiest part of the machine. When condensation or a firmware bug hits, your $3,000 fridge is one software glitch away from being a box of spoiled groceries. In 2016, Samsung recalled 34 washer models for a design that let water leak straight onto the main board, frying the controls and locking the machine for good. Class action lawsuits forced the company to pay out, but the core design has not changed. Repair techs call Samsung a parts nightmare, with proprietary boards, 2-month lead times, and repair bills that often outstrip the value of the appliance. If you have ever waited weeks for a fix or had to junk a nearly new fridge, you already know the cost of an appliance that thinks it is a phone. Number 5 is Haier, the global badge swapper that turned Western brand loyalty into a factory shortcut. Haier isn't just a Chinese appliance maker, it is a state-owned conglomerate that buys up old American names like GE and Fisher and Paykel, then stamps those logos onto the same cost-spec chassis rolling off assembly lines in Zhejiang and Guangdong. The result is the same low-grade compressor, the same control board, the same corners cut, no matter what badge is on the door. It's not speculation, it's right there in the part numbers. The evaporator fan, the main PCB, and the door gaskets in Haier and GE models are identical down to the SKU. That is not engineering, that is marketing, and the numbers back it up. Out of 147 reviews for Haier refrigerators on Consumer Affairs, 134 are 1 star. 92% mention the compressor failing or the fridge simply giving up within months. Ask a contractor. A 25-year kitchen pro in Boston installed 2 Haier fridges and a dishwasher in a condo build. Both fridges died inside 8 months. The warranty process dragged on because the compressors came from a third-party OEM with no U.S. parts depot. This is what happens when a company competes on borrowed badges, not on build quality. If you think a familiar logo means a reliable appliance, Haier is the proof that brand recognition is just a sticker, and you are the one paying for it when the guts inside don't last. Number 4 is JennAir, the so-called luxury badge that is really just a whirlpool in a tuxedo. Here is the dirty secret. Inside that $2,000 dishwasher, you will find the same pump motor, spray arm, and control board as a $600 Whirlpool or Maytag. The part numbers match right down to the 804026661A pump motor, which is listed in both JennAir and Whirlpool catalogs. That is not at a premium build, that is corporate cost sharing. Whirlpool owns JennAir, and their strategy is simple. Slap a luxury badge on a mass-market chassis, crank up the price, and hope the marketing does the heavy lifting. But the consequences land squarely on your kitchen floor. JennAir dishwashers are notorious among repair techs for premature pump failures. On average, you are looking at 2 to 3 years before the heart of the machine gives out. The numbers do not lie. 150,000 units were recalled for pump burnout in 2021, and warranty data show 34 claims per 1,000 sold, more than double what you would expect from a true high-end brand. When the inevitable happens, you are paying luxury repair prices for a mid-tier part that was not built for the long haul. It is a bait and switch that leaves homeowners with chronic leaks, dead control panels, and cleaning performance that does not justify the premium. The luxury badge is the product. The appliance inside it is not. Number 3 is LG, the compressor they knew was broken. LG's big selling point was the linear compressor, a sleek, efficient design that promised quieter operation and lower energy bills. But here is what they buried in the fine print. Those compressors are built around a magnet rail that wears out fast, especially when the steel is sourced to a price, not a standard. The result is a mean time between failures of just 3 to 7 years, far less than the lifespan of the old-school rotary compressors that used to run a decade or more without complaint. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power both flagged the drop, but the real evidence is in the stories. A fridge that loses cooling in year 4, a freezer full of spoiled food, a repair quote that is higher than a new appliance. This was not a fluke. Court filings from class action suits show LG engineers warning about magnet flux loss after 5 years, and internal service bulletins quietly preparing technicians for failures right on schedule. The legal fallout was huge: $6 million in settlements, extended warranties, and a grudging admission that the flaw was baked in from the start. Meanwhile, owners waited weeks for parts, lived out of coolers, and watched their groceries rot while LG corporate played the long game. If you ever wondered why a premium fridge can die before the warranty is up, here is your answer: factory engineered failure, signed off at the top. The lesson is simple. Do not pay luxury prices for a feature that is just a ticking clock. Always check the compressor type, read the independent reliability scores, and remember, if the design is built to a cost, the cost will come due. Your food and your wallet are what is on the line. Number 2 is viral ceramic cookware, the TikTok pan that won't survive the year. Corot, Blue Diamond, and their algorithm-boosted cousins promise restaurant-grade performance at a fraction of the price, but the factory secret is brutal. These pans are built to be replaced, not to last. Independent lab testing by Intertech found that after just 150 cycles of heating and cooling, which is a few months of regular use, 37% of Corot pans had already started to crack. Only 42% of buyers reported no issues at 6 months. That means more than half of these viral pans are headed for the trash before their first birthday. The reason is not a mystery. Both brands source their die-cast aluminum and so-called granite or diamond coatings from the same factories in Zhejiang, China, using a cost spec that prioritizes volume over durability. The ceramic layer looks glossy in influencer unboxings, but it expands and contracts at a different rate than the aluminum underneath, so micro cracks form fast. The business model is not about cookware that lasts, it is about cookware that trends. TikTok and Instagram creators get a 10% affiliate cut on every sale, and the algorithm keeps pushing the next viral demo while last month's pans quietly fail out of frame. If you have ever wondered why a pan that looked flawless in a 30-second video ends up chipped and warped by spring, here is your answer. The hype is engineered, and so is the short lifespan. For real durability, skip the social media trends and demand lab-tested impact resistance before you trust a viral badge with your kitchen. And finally, in first place, KitchenAid refrigerators, the trusted badge that betrays you. For decades, the KitchenAid stand mixer has been a workhorse, outlasting marriages and mortgages, still spinning dough after 30 years on the counter. But that legacy is exactly what makes the refrigerator division's failures sting so much. The badge is the same, but what is behind the door is a different story entirely. KitchenAid refrigerators are engineered by a separate Whirlpool-owned team, sourcing compressors, control boards, and even door assemblies from the same cost-driven OEM pool that supplies mid-tier brands. Internal audits leaked from Whirlpool in 2022 spell out the reality. 18% of new KitchenAid refrigerators needed door realignment within the first 6 months. That is not a cosmetic quirk. It is a failure of basic engineering that leads to cold air loss, higher energy bills, and often spoiled food. Even worse, 12% of units suffered refrigerant leaks due to subpar solder joints on the condenser coil, forcing warranty claims and service calls that should not happen on a $2,500 appliance. The company's quiet response was a voluntary warranty extension campaign, hoping to patch over the issue without admitting just how widespread these failures are. This is not a fluke. It is factory-engineered failure, hiding behind a legendary badge. The refrigerator line skips the brutal durability testing that made the mixer famous. There is no 10,000-hour stress test, no pride in overbuilding. Instead, you get doors that sag, gaskets that leak, and a repair bill that lands in your lap just as the warranty clock runs out. If you have ever replaced a premium fridge after 3 years of fighting leaks and crooked doors, you already know what this system costs you. The KitchenAid badge used to mean you would never have to think about your appliance again. Now, it is a marketing tool, one that banks on your nostalgia while quietly selling you a product built to a price, not to a standard. That is why KitchenAid refrigerators top this blacklist, because nothing is more dangerous to your wallet than a great name used to sell a bad bet. The only way to break the cycle is to buy by specification, not by badge, and demand the same standards for your fridge that you would expect from a mixer built to last a lifetime. Across all 6 entries, one ugly pattern holds: luxury pricing, budget guts, and factory-engineered failure. By design, not by accident. The badge means nothing if the guts are shared and the specification is set by marketing. Buy by specification, not by badge. That is how you break the cycle.